Describe what's going to happen.
Oh, I don't want to be here.
For one, we're all wearing steel armor. Even though you don't see the steel underneath the cloth, it's all steel. It has to be, because if they didn't wear steel there, they'd be going out in an ambulance today. All right? So the weapons. Is that a sword? Yeah, it's a sword, all right? So, steel swords. They're blunted because we don't want to have fingers left on the floor. All right, so we're using blunted steel. On the left-hand side, check that out. There you go. There you go. So what these are called arming swords, and these are the least likely sword to cause damage to an armored fighter. But they're very fast, and so they're very flashy. But if I hit someone that wasn't wearing armor, what would happen?
Let's find out. There could be only one!
Right? So, these are not going to cause as much damage as these.
But I like those.
Here you go, Bill.
I like a massive.
That's more of a head taker right there.
So we do full contact fighting. So we fight with axes and halberds and maces. All right? So yeah, and maces. Yeah, we do that. Not mace and cane, but maces. Right? Punching, kicking, throwing, all that fun stuff is involved too. Elbow strikes.
I thought he was a
Punches with the
loyal.
gauntlet.
You're telling me he was.
Kicks. All that stuff's included in what we do. Oh yeah, that's called promotion. Oh yeah, but they're not going to do it tonight. But so we also don't just do single combat. We do team fights. 3 on 3, 5 on 5, 10 on 10, 16 on 16. Right? And these guys here are going with me over to Portugal to fight in the World Championships next month in May. So Team USA is going to go take some more gold. Yeah. So let's get this started. So it is full contact. There's two ways of doing full contact when you're doing one-on-one. There's points-based, which everyone understands points, and then there's 10-point must system. We're going to do kind of points tonight because we're going to have you guys judge who won. All right? So I want you guys to watch the fights and be part of this and see who looks like they're winning the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Is the loser executed?
The loser will have lost, and that sucks all in itself.
All right. That's a tradition.
All right, so why don't we have Brandon fight Ringo first? So, all of these fighters trained with me at the Knights Hall in Nashville, New Hampshire. Ringo and Brandon. Okay? See the difference between the two? Look at their helmets. All right, so you guys can punch, kick, throw, do whatever you need to do. Fight!
He's got a shield. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get hit with that shield.
Get out there! It was a slip.
Fight!
Mandatory 8 count.
Ringo made his dominant, so he would get the point on that.
I have 1-1.
Down the center on the exit.
Elbows.
Out.
Superman punch.
This block.
Go to your corners.
Timeout.
All right, so what do you think? This fighter or this fighter?
Sudden death.
I think it's tie. So a count of hands, tie. Count of hands, this fighter. Count of hands, that fighter. Draw it is round one. We're going to give them.
I mean, you guys gotta do it again.
They are. They're going to do it again. And Cat is sitting over there waiting because he's going to fight the winner. Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to fight the loser.
Loser gets to lose twice.
So that the winner of that and the winner of this will fight each other again. All right, guys, fight.
Charge! Sweep the leg, Johnny! It's still funny that you You'll pay for that if you like.
Okay. Take his leg down.
So part of the problem wearing a helmet is seeing the feet. It's hard to see the feet. Stop. Ringo leg armor.
That was a nice shot.
Well, the armor they're wearing, we're not allowed to stab because stabbing is dying. We don't need any of our fighters to die. Right, so we don't do any thrusting.
It will increase ticket sales.
No one survives that steel through the eye. Guys ready? Fight!
Okay.
Super quick kick. Come on, keep breathing.
Stop!
Kill moving.
Stop! Go this way, guys. I'm not going to let you guys die. Fight.
Shield. You can take a picture of the shield and
Stop!
a fake UFO
Corner.
story.
All right. Draw.
Aka.
This fighter. Raise hands if it's this fighter. Raise hands if it's that fighter. Ringo wins the match.
Nobody likes
Cat, grab this one.
Huzzah, right?
Huzzah.
We're going to give Brandon about 3 minutes to recover. So armor weighs 65 pounds, 85 pounds.
They put me
So they're not wearing light gear. He broke the glass with a sword.
That could be Yokozuna.
You didn't see it.
Yeah, but that's
So
Symposium.
your vision,
One of my guys was released.
take your hands, put your hands like this,
$3 grand to spend on armor.
okay? Put your hands like this. How much peripheral vision do you have? Now, look through those thumbs. Can you see through your thumbs? I can't see through my thumbs. You can't see feet, and it's hard to see knees. So you have to scan with your head to catch things. And when you're doing that, you're giving away things.
Jay, can you tell us about the footwork?
Oh, so footwork's very important in this. If you picture this, you're wearing that 65 pounds of gear or 80 pounds of gear. Where do you think your center of gravity's going when you're wearing a helmet that's 15 pounds? It's all lifting. So it's lifting 6, 8, 10 inches depending on the fighter and how heavy their gear is. So if they are going into wider stances, their hips are tiring out because they're carrying all that gear and they're easier to put down. So we tighten the stance and get the weight carried shoulders over thighs over feet. And we try to put people in a 12-10 or a 12-2 footwork stance so they can generate some power, and they have to keep the heels down. Because when the heel comes up, if you get a little leg sweep, out they go because the center of gravity's off and they're going to the ground. So we're trying to keep their feet underneath them at all times. We're also keeping their head up because once you come down to here and you've got all that weight on you, it's easier to look down, fall down. You would take a fighter down easy once their head comes out past their shoulders. So you'll notice that their footwork is, they're always underneath them. Make sense?
Actually, I love the footwear.
Well, the footwear. Oh. They're wearing leather shoes. Look at the bottoms of these shoes. They're flat leather. Those are the exact shoes that they would wear in the Middle Ages when they fought like this. What they don't have is they didn't have a lot of tension trouble because they didn't have a lot of grip to the ground. So they would do a lot of rotation with their feet, and they didn't get the knee trouble that our modern football players all have from carrying all that heavy gear and being big in the upper body. Lots of knee trouble. These guys don't have it because they got flat bottom shoes. And you learn how to grip with the bottom of your feet. How many of you fight barefoot? Right? When you fight barefoot, you learn how to grip the ground, right? You learn how to grip the ground through these leather soles. You do it the same way.
Normally it's a little easier than on this parquet floor.
Yeah, this is a little slick.
What do they fight on?
Generally ground, sand, dirt, grass, or at the hall I have a rubber floor like glass. And that's what we class. You guys ready? Fight!
Slot and I will hide in the back.
One more question.
Sure.
Throw the holy hand grenade eventually.
They have huge shields. They don't use huge shields, huh?
Right, no. So huge shields were used for stopping archery and halberds. Well, no, the big halberds. So you talk a 7-foot staff with an axe blade on the end. Right, so that's a problem. And remember how I said stabbing is dying? Right, if you've got a big shield and someone's trying to stab you with a spear, that shield's going to cover a lot of the territory. If we're not stabbing, right, we want to use that shield as an offensive weapon. So yeah, so here I am with a bigger shield, and I'm going to guard. You notice how I flatten out my blade here? I'm blocking across my eyes because I don't want something coming across my eyes. I'm blocking my armpits, keeping my elbows down, because those are the vulnerable parts in a suit of armor. Armpit, visor, neck, groin. Those are the spots that would get stabbed. And it's also the parts. Are you guys still breathing? Oh yeah, yeah, but they're breathing a lot of their carbon dioxide. Yeah, yeah. So that's why we have to give them a break. Brandon got a good break there. Any other questions? All right, fight.
Smash them up.
We need music.
So what Cat's doing is Cat's playing with rain.
Hit him with giblets.
Take a walk on the left side.
Throwing shot.
So chromium wins.
So that's an 8-pound piece of steel that he just got punched in the face.
I liked it.
Nice jab.
Now left hook.
Dead arm. Dead arm. Literally.
Shot.
He
Smack him around.
He punches you, put your sword up, dead arm.
Bully.
Stop corners. Yes.
His shield.
Yes.
He's got a point on the end of it.
Yes.
He can still thrust it.
He can punch with that. That's correct.
I mean, with the end of it, he can't thrust the end.
It's too wide to go through the slot. So we have a rule system in place.
I go to the knee is right in the corner.
Absolutely. Yep, they can punch in the throat with it, the armpit with it, the eyes, yep. Yeah, and so there's medieval manuscripts and medieval fight books. You know, our ancestors wrote all this stuff down.
Who was it that got jousted in the eye? That king, one of the kings.
Yeah. I'm not sure which king took a...
He was French.
Yeah, so that was Kill Bill.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There are a lot of kings who did a lot of jousting and a lot of this fighting.
The king would get killed when he got the lance.
I can see that.
It was king.
So shards of wood, once that gets loud in your eye,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's probably not a happy. So who won that round? This fighter
Yeah, he dominated.
or this fighter?
No, I'm sorry.
All right, that takes round one.
For help.
Get ready for round two. Fight! Come on, other guy, drop kick him.
Superman punch! Cartwheel axe kick.
He's gonna be
Yeah! Take him down! Take him down! Yeah! Beat him the shield!
Mike, go Henley Pop.
Tournament rules!
Stop! Corner.
They hear very well.
Not very well, no.
We can yell louder.
So, one of the problems with knees is you've got all that upper body pulled forward. And if you bring that knee up sometimes, you're pulled over. So you got to be real careful. And so they're leery about taking the feet off the ground with all that weight. Sure.
The dress code and outside dressing, if they ever wear anything that was distracting at all.
The shield with the deflector.
You try wearing a thong doing this one? No, well, what they really wanted to do was, what they tried to do was identify themselves. So they had a culture of prowess, right? He who does most is most worthy was the term or one of the phrases used by Charnay, who was one of the great chivalric writers. So they wanted knights to be men who were heroic. And so a knight would want to sell himself and let everyone know, hey, I'm the best fighter out there. So they would wear something flashy, so you'd be able to identify them in their gear. And they go, that guy in the bright red, or that guy in the angel wing sleeve.
Oftentimes, like you watch fencing, and they're doing a lot of, it doesn't happen here, huh?
No, there's not, well, for one, we're not stabbing. You can actually fence with these pretty well. The problem is they're lethal, right? So if we stab each other full force in this, I don't have insurance in them.
Somebody's losing a spleen.
So in the 14th century, King Rene of Anjou
Bring your own liver.
was losing too many fighters in medieval tournament. So you'd get done with whatever war you were part of, but remember I said they had a culture of prowess. It was all about the warrior, and the warrior was the pinnacle of society. These guys wanted to prove themselves every minute of every day, and they would fight these tournaments for fun. And people would die in these tournaments, and when you have all the people who are running your estates and collecting your taxes and fighting your wars for you, when your best warriors are killing each other just to prove themselves, you've got a management problem. So King Rene goes, hey, I'm putting these rules in place for when you fight in these tournaments. And he says, I don't want you to use sharpened weapons. I don't want you to stab. Okay? They came into play, and because this was the sport of the dead, so your whole town, your whole city would go together to watch guys doing this on Saturday night. Okay, this was the football game with 10,000 people in the stadium.
What if Wallace put on those gear on the kick thing? Would that stuff on?
Yeah,
I couldn't even stand up, that's the way we won't make them.
you can kick. The problem is each leg is weighted down by 20 pounds, or maybe 15 pounds. Right? So you're now carrying all that weight on the leg.
They were doing burpees in those earlier.
right, so it slows you down.
We should have a special mean attraction match.
Come on out here for a moment.
That would be combat.
He's got a steel arm,
The wall is the second one.
okay? That steel arm, he can strike with the elbow. He can punch with the gauntlet.
Swing in. Swing in. Swing in.
Now that's a video.
He's a 6'1" tall, 250-pound man wearing 60 pounds of armor. So he's 310 pounds of human encased in steel.
Now, it's encased in steel, but every joint that you have here, joint you have here, is it comfortable? They build it so that you can maneuver?
Lift your knee.
We can't pee in them.
I want you to do 20 squats right now.
Sophie just wants to put him in a wrist lock.
Squats.
I'm sure he does.
So in my armor, I can do burpees in my armor. So, yeah. Yeah, so.
Can't do burpees in my
I want to see this green.
So here's what I'm going to give you for a finale.
I'm gonna think we got in trouble for
I'm going to have the two of them fight cat.
To the pain!
Always happens.
Now it's a royal rumble. That's 2 levels.
Quick, circle him. Don't let him see you coming.
Circle the triangle. Triangle the circle. Multiply by power.
Yeah, get him! Yeah! Just
I saw this when I worked in the prison.
Sweep them! Don't you double up on me.
Jack Frost down.
Down to 1. Yep. Once.
Lay back down and be an obstacle. Lay down there.
So one of the rules we have in the sport is 3 points of contact to the ground, you're out. Because that is how it was done in the Middle
left hook.
Ages.
Sweet. There you go.
Done. Once the knee hits the ground. So if you were in battle, you have a bunch of Good job, Jack. Next bow. Hey guys, pop your hats. So Cat is my son. Yeah, well, hey. That's first with age.
Flying armor? Yeah, why not?
Part of my warrior culture, we've got it all. They're all grown.
But think about it. With the beard, with that cushion from the blow with that.
It probably keeps the chin strap from ripping their face off. Right. So, Catelyn Brooks is currently the national sword and shield champion. Ringo and Brandon are representing your nation as part of the 10-man team to bring gold to the U.S. Catelyn is also on the team called the Striking Eagles, which is the top 5-man team in the country, and on the top 16-man team in the country.
Does every state have?
So, just about every state. And so I'm going to bring up Brandon over there, because Brandon's local team, the Nashua Nightmares, are the national champions out of the 32 teams in the country. The Nashua team is the top one in the country. And the 3 of us fight on that team.
Now, does this happen in Europe as well, England?
It is happening in all through Europe. There are about 40 teams or 40 countries in the world that are participating in this sport. 20 of them are going to the World Championships in Portugal next month. So, and this sport is growing fast. 4 years ago, I was one of the first 4 guys doing this sport. All right. Now I have 200 armored fighters in the United States. We have 41 teams as part of the Armored Combat League, including the World Championship type teams, the regional teams, and the city teams. I have Guadalajara, Mexico, Quebec City, Montreal, and we're working on getting the teams in Argentina right now. So we're growing very fast, and it's because you guys are taking this in, it spurs us on. So thank you very much for giving us the support. Guys, think about it.